Hey guys, today I'll be showing you how to do a French tip manicure the way that I do it. You will be needing a base coat, some sort of clear or neutral polish, and white for the tips. And also make sure that you have a good top coat. Also, you will be needing some nail polish remover or acetone. I like to use acetone personally because it cleans up the nails a lot more quicker and without as much work as you would need for regular nail polish remover. And the first thing that I'm using for the tips is by Orly. It's Beverly Hills Manicure. It's from like the Beverly Hills line. I'm pretty sure they only came out with this, and this actually goes with it. It's kind of like that cherry top coat that they do put on a nail salon sometimes to make your nails look really natural and pinkish. It's really sheer. It doesn't look anything like it does in the bottle when it actually comes out. And when I used it with a regular white, you can see the difference here. This one's a little bit more sheer. It's actually called sheer white. This, you could see the red on top of this white, but not on top of the sheer white. So that's why I'm going to be using this one today. Let's see. The first thing that I do instead of applying a base coat, just because I go back over it with acetone and that'll remove my base coat anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start with the white. And again, I'm using Sheer White by Orly. And I'm going to end up putting 2 coats of it on there because it is so sheer. It doesn't actually turn out opaque until the second coat. So put 2 coats on the tops of all your nails and do not even worry about being really neat. Just make sure the layers are thin. Okay, so the next thing that you'll be doing is taking your acetone, and you'll be taking a brush, which I'm using an old concealer brush that I never use anymore. I filled the cap of the acetone with the actual acetone remover, so that way I can just dip it in and go with my nails at it. Sorry if I sound a little nasally, I've got a sinus infection right now. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead, and if you can see, I really did not even care how that looks on my tips because I'm going to go back and fix everything. So I'm just going to dip it in and blot it off a little bit so it doesn't get too runny. And what I'll do is follow the natural curve of my nail with the brush. And this is why I love using the acetone, because it really just melts right away. It is like effortless. And I know when I use a nail polish remover, I was really scrubbing at it, and then like that sacrificed the actual curve that I got. And you can make it, as much of a curve or as little as you'd like. And it just comes out looking so clean and so professional, and I get so many compliments on it. I really do think this is the best way to do it, because even if you have long nails and you're able to just go like one line across, it still is kind of flat, like you have a straight line. And my nails are not that long right now. They're not really short, but they're not particularly long. So this is good. This is actually really good for people with shorter nails, because it makes a French manicure actually possible. And I've been there because I just stopped biting my nails for the first time in my entire life. So I'm really excited. And so that gave me a really gorgeous curve, and you can compare the two and see what a difference it makes. And this is just a really sheer white coat again on top. It kind of makes it look a little bit more natural, and it makes it look really nice and classy, and it goes with everything, so it's always good. And just go in there and give it that curve. I like more of a curve, but I don't like it to be too thick up top. There. And sometimes I notice I get it kind of crooked because of the way that I look down at my own nails, so sometimes I'll have more on this side and less on this side, but you'll get the hang of it. Next step is to apply your base coat, which I know it's kind of backwards because I've already put the white on top, but since we went around with the acetone, it would have just wiped off any base coat anyway. You can skip this. I forget half the time, but I think it'll still at least, keep the next coat that we'll be putting on, that natural looking coat, from chipping. Also, if you'd like, instead of putting this coat on next, You can either put a pastel on, which I really like to do a lot of the time, or you could just go right to your top coat for just a clear look. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take the top coat. I'm using the Bonder, the rubberized base coat from Orly, which is amazing. And I'm just going to put it on the part that I haven't painted yet. It's okay if you overlap a little bit, it's not a big deal. Just put a thin layer of that on, and it dries pretty quickly. And just one layer of this on all your nails. The next step that I'm going to do now that I've put my base coat on is I'm going to put on the next layer, which is considered my natural layer. And this is by Beverly Hills Manicure from Orly, and it's called Beverly Hills Plum. And I've tried this on a few times, but I've never actually worn it, so let me see how it goes on. And it dries really quickly, and it really does give you a pretty natural look. And if you try it with the regular white instead of like a more sheer white color, it looks, you can see the red on top. But in this case, it really blends in well. So I went ahead and bought the white tip that goes with it. And you're just going to be putting one coat of this on. And just do it pretty evenly and thin. Don't layer it up on there, otherwise you see globs of it where the white is. And you can see the difference that it makes in between my natural nail and then the ones that I have the actual top coat on. Or not the top coat, but the natural layer. And just put that evenly on all. The next step would be to apply your top coat. But before I do that, and you can totally skip this, I'm going to put a few rhinestones on my finger with a little flower. So I'm going to take just regular white nail polish, and I'm going to dab some of that on this little plastic container I have here. And I'm going to be using a daughter to make the flower with because it's really simple. You can use a toothpick and it works totally just as well. And I'm going to be doing this with my ring finger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 4 to 5 dots in a circle, but not touching. Otherwise they turn out to a blob. I'm sorry, I'm so congested. I know I sound weird. It really sucks. And there's my little flower outline. And I'm going to put a rhinestone in the middle. So what I'll do for that is I'll just take a little dot in the middle of that same nail polish. And I'm going to be using a yellow rhinestone for the middle, which I have a little, it's called Dial-A-Gem. I got it from Sally's for like $8 or $9 with my Sally's card. It has all kinds of different colors of crystals or rhinestones, and you can just dial the little plastic part to get in which compartment you want. It keeps them really organized. So I love that. And so I'm just going to take an orange stick or a toothpick or whatever you have there. And I've already got 2 laid out here. What I do is just lick the bottom. I know that's weird, but it picks up the little rhinestone. And I'm going to put it in the middle where I put that little dot. And then I'm going to press down. And there you go. And the last thing you do is just apply your top coat to your nails. And then just make sure that you let it dry completely. That's very important because otherwise your work is completely gone. And that is so frustrating. And then you're done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
A red